Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR HALACHA. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it is for Friday, 12th day of November, the 8th day of Kislev. Okay, today we're going to talk about olive oil for Chanuka. For your Chanuka menorah, it is considered a great choice to choose olive oil for your menorah. Why? Simple, because the miracle in the temple happened with olive oil. That story that we all know about the one flask that they found and it burned for 8 days, that was olive oil. So you too should try to get olive oil for your menorah. It's preferable. Don't get me wrong. You can use other things, but it's just best to try to get yourself olive oil. Now, I'm sorry, it gets a little more complicated than that, because then the question is what kind of olive oil? You know, going to our stores today is so complicated in every which way. You go into the shoe store to get sneakers and you find out that there's 35 million kinds, one for off-road, one for road, one for training, one for cross-training. So same thing happens with olive oils. You go into the store and you're like, whoa. There's pure olive oil, there's light olive oil, there's pumice olive oil, there's virgin olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. What on earth am I supposed to be doing? What should I get? So that's what we're going to describe in the next minute or two. The Gemara in Menachos clearly describes how the olive oil was pressed for the Beis Hamikdash. It was cold pressed, it was not refined in any which way, and it was uncooked. Okay? Now that means that's what we should be looking for, because that's most closely resembles the olive oil that was in the Beis Hamikdash, in the temple. Again, it was cold pressed, it was not refined in any unusual ways, and it was uncooked. Now, which of the many oils that you see on the market fit that category, that they're cold pressed, unrefined, and uncooked? They asked this to Rabbi Elyashiv, and he said that the ones that are called virgin oil or extra virgin olive oil, those are the ones that most closely resemble what was in the Beis Hamikdash. It's uncooked, and that's what we're looking for, because that's the best way that we resemble the olive oil that was used in the temple. If it says pure olive oil or light olive oil or pumice olive oil, all of those have been cooked. And because they've been cooked, they're not exactly similar to the olive oil that was in the Beis Hamikdash, in the temple. Now, what if I have a choice between edible olive oil and non-edible olive oil, because there is such a thing as olive oil which you don't eat? So inedible olive oil was not used in the temple, and therefore you too should not be looking for inedible olive oil. It should be edible olive oil. Rabbi Elyashiv said, if you're ever faced with the choice of, I got some cooked olive oil, which is not so perfect, and I've got inedible olive oil, which is also not so perfect, which one should I choose? So Rabbi Elyashiv said that cooked olive oil is still a little bit better than inedible olive oil, which is outright rejected for use in the temple. So I may have confused you. I'm going to go back to the main so that we won't come out of this confused. According to Rabbi Elyashiv, the ones that are called virgin olive oil or extra virgin olive oil, those are the ones you should be looking at. They most closely resemble the type of olive oil that was used in the Beis Hamikdash. And I have to add one more fact, and that is that sometimes when you go to the stores and you just say, look, I heard this whole spiel on the Daily DVAR HALACHA, and it's complicated to get the right olive oil. Can you just sell me the right kind of it? And they do that in the stores. In the good Jewish stores, they're selling, hopefully, olive oil that somebody made specifically for your menorah, and it most closely resembles what you need to be looking for. The last question you're going to confront is the question that some of them come all liquidy in little cups, and some of them come in cups where it's kind of gelled. You probably have seen those. They're very convenient to use, and they, as soon as you light them, they melt back down and they become liquid again. Honestly, personally, I buy those. They're fantastic, but you should speak through with your rabbi whether those resemble closely enough, perfectly enough, the olive oil of the temple. Obviously, I left you with a lot of choices here. Discuss it with your rabbi and say, hey, rabbi, I heard a whole spiel about virgin oil, non-virgin oil, cooked oil, refined oil, cold-pressed oil, the ones that are gelled, the ones that aren't gelled, and have your rabbi guide you on which one he thinks is the best one for you to get. If you end up using wax, it's kind of acceptable. If you end up using paraffin, that's kind of acceptable too. It's just that olive oil that resembles the temple olive oil is the best. Thanks for logging on, and have a great Shabbos, and log on again after Shabbos for more. Bye-bye.